Good codes, everybody, because they will continue to play Danganronpa Antebellum Lockdown. Where were we? Done with the trial. Come on, man. Load up, please. Here we go. Chapter 2. Come on, man.
Well, well, well. Look at us. Back here again. I know it's been a while. What, a month and a half? If it was up to me, we'd be on air again a lot sooner. Unfortunately, we had some small complications to work out after the murder.
What, disposing of the body?
Well, you've been left in the dark for a while, so I won't keep you waiting. I'm sure you're eager to know what the prisoners have been up to. Let me catch you up with the prisoners you judged last time. Starting with prisoner 02, Lyra Chattel. With her, it was a bit of a split. Back and forth. She was leaning pretty heavily towards Worthy for a long while. What? Did you think she was pretty or something?
Yeah, and it has a huge advantage. Especially when you got a huge group of people voting for shit.
Or maybe you just wanted to encourage the cycle she was in. I'm not going to judge. All I'm saying is that if you voted her worthy, I'm sure she'd see it as you falling for her facade in the same way her victims did. But slowly over time, the votes seemed to shift. It looks like some of you started doing some thinking. Maybe you just wanted to uphold her wishes. Or maybe she just started pissing you off. Whatever the reason was, there was a major shift right near the end. I'm almost convinced there was something fishy afoot. But it's not my job to investigate that.
Ooh, corrupt.
Eventually, she was pushed just barely into a corrupt vote with a close-cut 50.2%.
So she's gonna struggle like Taka, right?
Holy shit, you were close to a 50-50, huh? I don't know what we would have done if she landed right in the middle. Being so close to Worthy, despite her corrupt verdict, has definitely seemed to unsettle her a bit. I think she thought if she got corrupt, she could just go about things her own way, which, yeah, she's been doing. But cutting it so close has clearly made her do some thinking. Her confidence in her own actions has definitely been shaken. Obviously, she thinks some of you just wanted to take away her agency and disrespect her wishes once again. Or just voted her worthy because you thought she was hot.
Gotta love that exposition.
But I think you've definitely thrown her off. She's been forced to think, even if she denies it. She started to seriously reconsider the way things have gone so far, not just discarding people's belief that she can get better as them just being deceived by her somehow. Despite this, she's still corrupt, even if it's just slightly, meaning her access to kitchen supplies, medication, and the showers have been restricted. And her cell has been stripped. Not that it bothers her, she's been crashing in another prisoner's cell.
Then what's the point of stripping off the cell? Yeah, whatever.
The same prisoner who's helping her effectively circumvent her corrupt verdict, helping her get food, showers, and whatever else she needs like a loyal puppy dog.
So she's just living her life the same as ever. Okay.
That person being prisoner 03, Ezekiel Elias. It seems after 11's death, he needed someone else to latch onto. Or at least he wanted to make sure that no one else left him. Which has led to some fascinating developments, really. Him and 02 have started dating, and have made this relationship very clear to the other prisoners, telling them that they kiss on the mouth and stuff. I'm sure I don't even need to tell you how much this all pisses off Ismene. In light of what happened to prisoner 12, Lyra has become her favorite target.
Ismene. It's Ismene.
The dating thing, circumventing the corrupt effects by sleeping in Zeke's room, all of it makes her incredibly angry. Although, as Zeke's always with Lyra, she almost never has a chance to teach her a lesson. But most of the other prisoners think it's just for audience approval. But who's to say? I'd rather just move on from that whole dumpster fire and move on to our next prisoner. Prisoner L4, Takika Uchiyama.
What the hell?
It seems our youngest prisoner struck a nerve with you all. As soon as the votes dropped, she almost immediately got corrupt, with her verdict steadily balancing out and eventually landing on 51% corrupt. What? Did it hit a little too close to home? I mean, I don't really know how much you can judge her sending her fan base to harass people when you actively vote to make people's lives worse, but I guess you can say it's totally different. Well, whatever you need to say to make yourself feel better about it. Takiko tried for a while. She really did. She kept talking to the cameras, kept trying to cheer up your days, kept trying to help others. But after her verdict came in, something changed. She still looks at the cameras, but she's completely silent. She just stares. I think she feels betrayed. But she always knew this was going to happen. There's been a shift in her behavior overall. Having such restricted access to basic amenities has been exhausting. She barely has the emotional energy to help the other prisoners anymore. Not that it matters much. Most of them have completely discarded her.
Really? After all she's done for them? It's kinda unfair. I mean, yeah, she is pretty fucking awful, but that's not the present her.
If Fu wasn't locked away in his cell, he might try to help, but I don't think she'd accept it. Sure, Santil still tries her best to be friends with Takiko. She says she doesn't blame Takiko for her crime.
Yeah, that's kinda fair. You, what do you call that? You turn your back towards Taka, who did worse, and now you're okay with Takiko because it doesn't make any sense.
Santil seems to say a lot of things, is what I'm noticing. But naturally, they are spending less time with Takiko than they were before. After all, Takiko needs to spend a lot of the day finding someone to help them eat and stuff.
Why not let Asuga do it then?
But Takiko getting corrupt has made Santil rethink how harsh they were with Taka. Just a little bit. Nothing crazy.
Okay, that makes sense.
I suppose some of you will see that as a win though, won't you?
Yep.
Well, I'm sure you'll also be delighted to know that despite Ismene being mostly preoccupied with Lyra, Takiko wasn't entirely spared. It's nowhere near as crazy as Ismene has gotten with other prisoners. Dracul's death and the incident with prisoner 12 has dampened her a little bit, but Takiko got that sweet lesson you wanted her to get. A few times, Ismene left any food Takiko didn't eat in Takiko's empty cell, believing Takiko hasn't a right to be wasteful when she's getting help from others. Leaving Takiko to clean it all up before it rots. Which was pretty cruel, considering the corrupt verdict made Takiko lose almost all her appetite, so she's not been eating a lot.
Yikes, that's trouble. Yeah, that's not good mentally.
She's become pretty withdrawn overall. I'm not certain she's the biggest fan of you anymore. She's not too keen on being placed on the same level as Lyra and Maiko. There hasn't been any positive improvements in her behavior. If you were hoping to teach her a lesson or whatever, I don't know what you were expecting. All she's got is her views on the world confirmed, discarded by the other prisoners now that she's no longer useful, and an empty cell full of rotten food. Although, unlike Lyra, Ismene has almost completely stopped harassing her after the incident with prisoner 12. I keep alluding to that incident. How about we move on to it? Although I'm sure you already guessed some of the details. Mali Yuzuki, who you judged as corrupt by a whopping 78.5%.
Yikes.
Attempted suicide soon after her verdict.
Double yikes.
She couldn't handle living in a world where there was no chance her precious Yui would ever forgive her. And I'm sure the bullying from Ismene didn't help.
Go Ismene.
But luckily, or unluckily for you, she was saved. Alora stepped in and provided Molly with medical attention, keeping her alive. Since then, a few policies have been put in place by Alora. Everyone will continue to call her Maiko instead of Molly, as she doesn't want to be seen by her old name. And no one is allowed to mention Molly's crime to her or discuss it. Everyone is to treat her with kindness and care until she's ready to talk about it or whatever.
She's being treated like a fucking baby.
Some prisoners have gripes about how much this 28-year-old is being coddled. But I guess it's better than her trying to off herself again.
Ugh.
It certainly made Ismene back off. She seems shaken by the incident.
Would've wanted that death to be on her name.
and one prisoner in particular has taken her under his wing. But I'm sure you'll see who exactly that is soon.
Is it Fu?
Either way, I think that catches you up on what you've missed. Things are kind of going to shit, huh? It's kind of fun, in its own messed up way. Anyway, I'll leave you to watch the stream now. That's what you're really here for, right? Although, if I could just say something. Like, I know I told you all to be more harsh on the prisoners last time, but 3 corrupts is pretty fucking harsh, huh? Now, like, I'm not against it. I just think it's kinda curious how it's the all-girls set of crimes that get the triple corrupt. Go figure.
Whatever.
Whatever. Not like I care.
Oh, please don't tell me you're gonna bring up it's because they're women, right? Shut up. God damn it. You think I play games to escape reality.
Enjoy your stream. I'm sure I'll see you soon.
It's the power imbalance. Oh, shut up. Shut the fuck up. I'll be the first person to admit I didn't handle Dracul and Mint's deaths the greatest. Even if I hadn't known them for all that long, their absence was unbearable. So, save for spending a lot of time with this meanie, I spent a majority of time cooped up in my cell. Admittedly, I was scared of getting killed. Others, like Dr. Eleni Santaka, had taken the tragedy of it all in stride and used it as motivation to push forward with working on escape plans. But I wasn't as strong as that. Perhaps I was just a coward. Yet something had changed recently. Michael's attempt was a very harsh wake-up call. Seeing her like that in the infirmary, it all felt far too familiar. Maybe it was just me selfishly trying to make up for past mistakes, but I never wanted to lose someone like that ever again. Perhaps that's why these past few weeks.
Maiko.
Are you done yet, or do you need me to come in and turn on the water again? No, I'm all good, just drying off my hair. I'll be out in a second. Aren't you already out, though? You're in front of Shinko, whatever. See? There she is, that's her sprite. Found myself doing whatever I could to support Maiko. Alright, take your time. Of course, everyone was keeping an eye on her after the attempt, but I found myself almost constantly around her, which meant she'd gotten quite attached to me. Yeah, I guess you were right. I do feel a lot better after showering. Told you so. I know it can seem like a big task after a few weeks of not, but when you get in there, it's really not that bad. I know, it's just hard getting the energy. I guess I just built it up to be this whole big thing in my mind. It must seem pretty silly and gross to you, huh? I mean, it's just a shower, it's not a big deal you shouldn't have had to deal with. It's not about if I should or shouldn't, I'm doing this because I want to help you. You really shouldn't waste all this kindness on someone like me. Really, it's not a waste. Still, I'll try not to be so stubborn about staying in my cell next time. That must have been really annoying. What time is it now anyway? It's about 1 p.m. Really? Oh jeez. Something wrong with that. It's just, never mind, I'm just being silly and stupid like usual. Just say what you want to say, god damn it. What's up? Who takes a shower at 1 p.m.? You must have been trying to drag me out of my cell forever. I should really just be normal about this. Hey now, you got up before midday. If you ask me, that's a major improvement. You should focus on that. I guess, but I feel like anyone could do that. You were interrupted by a pair of voices echoing down the halls, headed in our direction.
Zeke?
Oh my god, slow down, Jesus, it's still so early. Come on, Zeke.
Oh, wah.
Don't give me that. You were the one who wanted to wash your hair. Can you just get in the shower so I can get on with my day? Literally, when did I say that? Last night you did your whole, Zeke, if I don't wash my hair tomorrow, I'm gonna actually literally kill myself, I swear to God, me. Yeah, that does sound like me. I don't know if you don't do this now, you're gonna bitch about it all day and get all pissy at everything, just cause your hair is slightly greasy. Oh, you know me so well. Too well if you ask me. Yeah, whatever. I only take 10, don't worry, princess. Shut the hell up. Good afternoon, you two. Oh my gosh, your favorite person. Just as I thought, this morning couldn't get any better. Since the verdicts came out, these two had seemingly been stuck to each other's side. Much to Smeaty's annoyance, Jake was letting Lyra sleep in his cell, and was basically doing whatever she wanted through him. She could circumvent almost any downside her corrupt verdict gave her. Which is probably why she didn't seem all that bothered by her verdict, more relieved than anything. It was almost as though it just confirmed all of her beliefs about herself and gave her free rein to continue being the bad person she saw herself as without having to think too hard about anything. Or at least I think that's what she wanted us to think. It's afternoon, not morning. Okay, well we just woke up so it's morning to us. Right, okay, whatever you say. You two done in the showers or are you still going? Cause I don't mind waiting, you're good. Oh no, Michael just finished, you're good. Sweet. I'll call you when I need to turn on the water, Z. Yeah, whatever. Lyra slipped into the shower room, leaving Zeke standing outside of it. He tended to prefer not being in there for all that long these days. Are you so okay? You sounded like you were fighting. What? No, we just talk like that. I see. I guess I just didn't expect you two to get to the old married couple bickering stage so quickly. Yeah, well, you know how it is. Women. Yeah? Yeah. Well, I hope that no matter what happens, you continue to make each other happy for many, many years to come. Right, I think I hear Lyra calling me, so I'm gonna go. Turn on that water now. Zeke seemed to quickly slink away into the shower room after Lyra, a weird shift in his demeanor. Wow, they're so cute. I'm so happy for them. Finding love in a situation like this. Michael, you don't actually think they're... Yeah, I know I'm not stupid. But I think even if it's unlikely to work out here, it's so romantic that they still want to try despite it all. I'm not gonna burst her bubble on that one. Well, regardless, I'm going to get some lunch. Do you want to join me? I think I'm good for now. Laura says she wants to give me a checkup this afternoon and she said she'll bring food, so I'll wait until then. Alright, do you have anyone you can spend time with? I'll try to figure something out, but I really don't mind having some time alone. I didn't want to overwhelm her by constantly being around her. I appreciated she likely wanted some space herself, and at least Dr. Elenius would be watching over her later. I had felt a lot more at ease leaving her alone recently, since her attempt at Sweeney had laid off of her, and the other corrupt prisoners a lot more. It had seemed seemingly shaken her quite a bit. Okay, I trust you. Just come get me if you need me. I don't want to bother you, Shinku. Michael, once again, it's never a bother. I want to help. I know. I'll catch you later, alright? Take care. See you later, Shinku. Switching to the shower cams by... Shut up. I made my way over to the canteen to get some lunch, finding a pair I'd gotten quite familiar with standing by one of the tables. A strange collection of objects, tanks, and boxes assembled on top of it. Almost as soon as I was noticed, one of the pair came bounding over to me, excitement clear in his wide blue eyes. Is that Taka?
Stinky poo!
Look what we found. Taka started pointing to a small glass box filled with various pieces of foliage and... Are those frogs? Pretty epic, right? We found these slippery little guys in the courtyard. How on earth did they end up here?
It's simple, really.
There were some tadpoles in the pond when we first arrived. I'm surprised so many survived until adulthood. That's pretty neat. I just hope we won't get to a point where we have to eat them. What? No, we're not eating my babies. No, my precious babies. Laura, you tell them. No one's going to eat the frogs, you're fine. Well then, why are you keeping them? It's simple, really. With a little bit of effort, they could assist me in mapping out the sewage systems in the prison. Understanding how they're laid out will be vital in finding an alternative route out of here. I see. I'm not really sure how would that work, but Dr. Elenius was the one with the doctorate here, not me, so I was going to question it. You see, these little adorable slimy babies will be our spies. They'll help us break out of here, one ribbon at a time. Isn't that right, woman the frog? That's great. Dr. Elenius wasn't usually so open with her plans, so I suppose she must have been pretty confident in this one. But I couldn't dwell on that thought too long as I heard a voice humming through the halls, slowly drawing closer to the canteen. And I clearly wasn't the only person who heard it, as Dr. Elenius promptly gave Taka the tank of frogs to hold. Anyway, if you could take these to the lab as soon as possible, that would be great, Takahiro. I need to begin my testing soon. Of course, right away. Taka took the tank in his arms and turned to leave. Immediately facing the person who had just entered, Asuga. Asuga, hi. Oh, hey, Taka. Wait, what's that you're carrying? Are those frogs? We found them in the courtyard. Pretty cool, don't you think? Jeez, would you just look at them? They're so little. Oh my god, look at their little legs. They're your favorite animal, right? Duh, how could anyone hate them? I mean, look at their big old eyes. Remember back in Old Speak, we used to sneak into the science labs all the time under the guise that you were filming some sort of segment for your show? They kept on wondering where all the frogs for dissection kept disappearing to. It's a wonder they never caught us freeing them. Yeah, what the hell? Are there no CCTVs in the Hope Speak Academy? At least outside the classrooms? Guess we just made quite the team, huh? We didn't have a lot of fun back then, didn't we? And you're always on board with making sure they didn't get hurt. I always felt bad releasing them into the wild, though. I mean, it was probably best, but I wish I could have taken them back to the troop and taken care of them. Well, if you like, Alora says we have to keep breeding them to make sure we have enough, so maybe we could take care of them together? Suga looked away from the frogs for a brief moment and up at Chaka, blinking for a moment before a small smile curled on the corners of her lips. Sure, why not? Really? I mean, that's great. You're great. I mean, frogs. Yeah, frogs. You have to take them to the lab first, but after I do you mind if I put them in your cell? Just because mine is kind of empty right now, there's certainly no place to raise some frogs, and not to mention it would be awful if it's meanie did something to them, so only if you don't mind, that is. I'd have no issue with it. I'd be happy to have the little guys. Of course, I'll put them right there in your cell as soon as we're done. I'll knock first, of course, yeah. Cool, well, I guess I'll see you later, Taka. I'm just gonna check on my washing real quick. What? Washing? This isn't the laundry room. See you later. Yeah, please. Okay, bye. Have a good day. Enjoy your washing. I hope it's great. Sure, I hope it's great too. Suga laughed awkwardly and walked through. Taka turned to watch them leaving with the biggest, stupidest smile on his face. Taka looked down at the cage of frogs, the same smile on his face. Woman the frog, you are getting the best, fattest worm when we get back to the lab. Mark my words. Taka giggled to himself and rushed out of the room, holding the frogs with glee. I looked back at Dr. Ellen and saw that small little smile on her face. You did that on purpose, didn't you? I'm not quite sure what you mean, Katsuki. There's no way those frogs have anything to do with any sort of escape plan. Of course not. To tell you the truth, I've already mapped out the sewage system of this place. I'm currently trying to figure out the ventilation system. But Takahiro doesn't need to know that, does he? You actually care about him quite a bit, don't you? Alora let out a sigh, turning back to her remaining boxes of supplies. I care about reducing potential conflict in the prison, that's all. I meant it when I said I wanted to ensure no one else had to die. Well, whatever you say. Right, that reminds me. I've put a schedule for who's watching Wang when up on the bulletin board in the hallway. I put you on for this evening. I do hope that's okay. Fine by me. Do you want me to bring him food as well? If you could, please do. Alright, will do. Good luck with the rest of your work for the day. I think your assistant might be a little too occupied for a while. Thank you. Do stay safe. Cool. My Takasuga. Oh, adorable. Yeah. After grabbing a quick bite to eat, I went back into the hallway to go check the schedule Alora had set up for the next few days. Okay.
So, I've got the night watch today and the morning shift Thursday.
Dr. Elaine has been cycling organizing when we've been watching Fu since he was locked up in his room a month ago. He'd been well behaved since the stabbing, but would already be safe than sorry. Still, since we were unable to physically lock Fu's cell, we'd each had to take turns acting as a physical guard, which some people were growing tired of. I didn't really mind it, Fu was entirely unpleasant to be around. If anything, I always found it quite easy to talk about my issues with him, even if I really shouldn't. But before I could dwell on it much longer, a fairly frustrated Smini huffed over to my side and scribbled out her Monday shift.
Ismini. I assume you just finished? How was it?
Oh, just wonderful.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. Yeah, at least only a few hours at a time. I don't care about guarding food, that's easy, that's right. In fact, it's delightful, shockingly. Then why are you so upset? Because every time I have a shift, I'm not able to keep an eye on things around here. And some people take that as an opportunity to walk around this prison like they own the godforsaken place. Oh, you mean Lyra? Or, yeah, Taka? I can practically hear her laughing at me. She thinks she's so much better than me because she's found a way to circumvent her entire judgment through that idiotic excuse for a man. What does he even know? He's not going to help her at all in the long run. You saw what happened to the last person he tried to protect, and they think I'm so unreasonable for being so bothered by this. If we just keep letting her do whatever she wants and treating this game like a frat party, then she'll either drink herself to death or get someone wrapped up in her reckless behavior and killed. Right, well, Smini had almost entirely laid off Michael. After her attempt, she found herself a new target, Lyra. So you just want to torture the corrupt prisoners. I'm not trying to be cruel or unreasonable. I just think that if she doesn't realize the gravity of a crime, if she doesn't think about it, then someone is going to get hurt. Yet I'm the crazy one. Me? You don't think I'm unreasonable, do you, Shinko? Well, here's the thing though. You could just leave them alone and let them wallow in misery, but you keep on provoking them. You keep on doing shit to them. Well, I mean, I get where you're coming from. Exactly, but when I bring it up to them, it's suddenly, oh, this means what's your damage? Why can't you just stay out of other people's lives? You've left Taka and Michael alone. Of course I left Michael alone. I'm not insane, Christ. At least Taka's actually shown signs of improvement. Why would I keep harassing him when he's actively helping the group now? Do they think I'm stupid? I'm not stupid. And then I realized I found myself defending Taka, hero of all people. I'm starting to question how we even got to this point. That's the whole point though. Make you go crazy and kill someone in this place. They just drive me crazy. Maybe you just need to take a step back from it all. I don't trust what might happen if I take a step back. I can't just sit around and do nothing. Yes, you can, actually. Not after what happened to Mint. Not after what happened to... Sweeney felt quiet and looked away for a moment, a silence lingering in the air. Well, I suppose it's none of my business. I just tend to stress about these things, perhaps irrationally. Whatever happens, we'll have each other, okay? You can't control what other people do, Sweeney, so there's no use stressing about it. Yep, just focus on keeping yourself safe and content. I know, perhaps I'm a little restless, but try to keep my mind off of things. I get that, but try not to overdo it, alright? Alright. I just try not to stress about it. It's not my business, right? I left Akiko to her own devices recently and she's been quiet. I think I'm going to go to the library to get my mind off of things. I'll talk to you later, alright, Chinko? Alright, I'll see you later, Iz. Smini paused just before she left, turning back to me briefly. Is Micah doing okay? Well, as well as she can be. I got her to take a shower at least. She smiled a little bit, clear of relief in her face. I'm glad. Smini left down the hall. She was clearly still tense but trying to calm herself down. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't also a little apprehensive of whatever was going on between Lara and Zeke, especially after Mint. I get it. I turned to face a small girl who had been watching me and Smini speak.
Huh?
I get why she's frustrated. It can be quite exasperating to see someone you want to be okay do things you think are just going to harm them, especially when you think that you could somehow help them yourself. But I don't think she realized that sometimes you just need to let people make mistakes. Yep. Holding tighter onto people or being too firm because you think you know better just strains things most of the time. If someone wants to do something, they'll do it even if it will hurt them. Yep. Yeah, well, try telling Zmini that. Exactly. She'll do this no matter what you say. Trying to stop her is just going to strain things between the two of you, and who knows how that'll turn out in the long run. Still, sitting by and just letting people make mistakes can hurt a lot, so it's kind of a lose-lose situation, huh? Suppose so. Something was different about Takiko since her crime came out. Couldn't really place my finger on it, but she felt a lot more honest. I did miss her peppy old self. Her smile used to be enough to brighten up my day. Now she was just off all the time. Maybe that's why I've been avoiding her more. Just the fact I was busy taking care of Maiko. I just saw Taka walking by all giddy. He seemed to be having fun. I wonder what happened. I think he and Asuga are starting to repair things. They agreed to take care of some frogs together. Is that so? I imagine it's going to be rocky for a bit, but I think this has been a long time coming since the trial. I'm glad for them. I hope it works out. I think I'll make them both happier. Well, time will tell, won't it? Takiko smiled slightly and walked past me into the canteen to presumably get some lunch. I really did hope Taka and Asuga would be able to repair things. I knew it would take a while, but the fact they were able to talk to each other again was an amazing first step. I was glad to see others like Takiko and Dr. Lannis were rooting for them as well, even if it didn't work out in the end. Maybe seeing her friends so happy would help get Takiko out of whatever slump her corrupt verdict had gotten her in, help her get her appetite back. I figured this meeting laying off her would do something, but I think it's just something she's going to have to figure out on her own at this point. What does Takiko even do? Dude, she's awesome. After my chat with Takiko, I made my way to my cell. Something felt different in the prison recently. It felt like it was only so long until the cat started meddling with us again. Yeah, they can't read, what the hell. We'd been here around a month. Last time, before the cat introduced the hostage motive, I was certain if no one was killed for another week, the cat would take action. Until then, I was determined to maintain my peace. So I turned to my desk, ready to settle in for a session of writing when... Hello, Shinku. Why do you always do this? It's like you cherry-pick the moments I want to be alone. Bitch, I can't cherry-pick when there's a whole orchard of time you spend alone. Yeah, what do you want this time? Is it about me being cooped up recently? Well, yeah, kinda. Like, I know that purple guy you really like died or whatever, but it's also been 3 weeks. Can you, like, get over it? The viewers are bored of you grieving. Someone died more than Echo, 2 people. I think it's reasonable for me to grieve. I just want to be alone right now. At what point does it stop being reasonable and start being attention-seeking? Are you serious? Do our lives mean nothing to you at all? Both of them, Mint, Dracul, they had families, they had lives to go back to, and now they're... Appeal to emotion, argument invalid. What? Bottom line is I don't care. Most of you are going to be dead by the end of this. You can't just drop that so casually. Your lives only matter to me in how much they bring in views. When you stop doing that, I don't have much reason to keep you on air. You know, telling me how little I mean to you isn't really going to make me want to do what you want. Okay, well, I think of it like this. You only live once, so you might as well try and at least get some action before you kick the bucket. Why would you want to do anything when this whole thing is being streamed? I don't know, I'm not gonna judge what you're into, you're all adults. That's not what I meant and you know it. If you're so insistent on not hanging out with anyone, then there is one way you could stay in your sad little cell and still make good content. Mana and Neko hopped off of my desk. To reveal they left a large bucket of tapes and a tape recorder on it. If you want to stay in your cell, do me a favor and record some interesting inner thoughts or anything interesting on these tapes. Why would you need that? Talking head segments, duh, cutaways for when we made the edited version of the stream with just the best bits. You're going to edit this whole thing down? Duh, everyone wants their content short and shorter these days. As long as we get the basic gist of things, it shouldn't really matter. If we cut out the parts where not much is happening. Do you not know the first thing about content creation, Shinku? It just feels a bit strange for a snuff stream. Little talking head segments and personal taste will do wonders to make the cuts less jarring and edit things to have a nice, consistent narrative. That's not the part I find strange. Anyway, I'll leave you to decide what to do. I'm going to drop these tapes off to a few others still. Have fun. By the way, if you have anything you want to say about Dracul, or Mint, or really any of the male prisoners, please do share them on the tapes. Viewers always care way more about the guys than the girls. If you double down on your friendship with Dracul, pretend it meant more than it did, you could use that grief to make yourself all compelling and pitiful, as long as your mouthing is... as long as your mourning is entertaining, people will eat it up. When your mourning is just being stuck in your room and all low energy all the time, it's really boring. Give me something to work with. Oh, don't look at me like that. You should be happy. You already have such an advantage compared to the others. If you don't feel comfortable with that, I suppose you could settle for talking about the girls. You've been close to Molly recently, no? Now that I think about it, she's kind of like Dracul, isn't she? Chubby, trapped in her own little world, unwilling to face reality. Now, I'm not saying you have a type, Kutsuki, but... Oh, don't look at me like that. I wasn't making an accusation, just pointing out a little funny coincidence. Anyway, see you soon. Mononeko jumped out through the vents, leaving me with the tapes. I suppose I could record one, or I could get out of my room and spend time with someone else. Either way, I had some time to kill before it was my turn to watch Fu. Awesome, so I can edit here, right? You can now record tips at your desk. Recording tips will pass the time like sleeping in your bed would, but each time you do, your popularity rises ever so slightly. What? Each time you do it, your popularity rises ever so slightly? Doing free time will still get you more popularity. Oh, okay. But it's a good way to passively raise your popularity when you don't feel like talking to other prisoners. However, if you record too many tapes, other prisoners will start to wonder why they keep hearing you talking to yourself or yourself and grow suspicious of you. This will cause your trust to lower. But your trial will be fine if you do it in moderation. Have fun. Okay. 8. So I'm gonna edit here. So this is Danganronpa Antebellum Lockdown. And if you want to try to get for yourself, the links are in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves. God damn it. Whatever happened to the promise that Shinku and Ismini made for Dracul? Like, hey, let this be a reminder that we shouldn't kill people, etc. It is really like, okay, but I can't torture them, right? Oh, Ismini. She's so funny.